Unitarian Universalists have been part of Helena since the late 19th century. We welcome you to join us. As you are welcome here. Visitor, friend, or longtime member, you are welcome here. With little children, or your partner, or alone, we joyfully welcome you here. You are welcome here as a believer or doubter, as joiner or loner. You are welcome here. Feeling a part of us or not, full of energy or not, seeking a vision or a rest, you are welcome to join us as you are. We also welcome the people of the Salish, Nez Perce, Blackfoot Salish, and the Chippewa tribes who shared this land well before we came. The channel sliding is next, and you might notice a little odd direction. In here I said, please whisper this. It's kind of long, and we don't need to all be talking in exactly the same cadence. And so if we whisper it, maybe it'll be easier for us. Ready? Journeys begin in many ways: a step, an idea, a goal, a dream, a longing. How we travel may matter more than how far we travel. The struggle may matter more than what we win. This room, this building, this fellowship is both a starting place for our journeys and a stopping place along the way. Draw nourishment from the presence of one another. Share your many and varied maps. Journey on, sustained and enriched by the spirit and wisdom and love to be found here. Our opening song, led by Judy, Welcome to the Circle by Betsy Rose. It's in the Open Your Heart Songbook number 2. expressed interest in joining us officially as members. This is our ceremony, and in the UU, we just don't do a lot of ceremonies. Not too many baptisms, marriages, even funerals. And so you might say this is our big wahoo every year. And it is a big wahoo, having people come to join us and make our journey more diverse and interesting are really a blessing. So I didn't introduce myself for those who don't know. My name is Cass Mitchell, and you'll find many things in the service today are about welcoming new members. So we're going to do a reading. This is 646 in the Singing the Living tradition, and will the congregation read the italics, and I'll read the bold. This is called The Larger Circle, and it's by Wendell Berry. I'm sure many of you know, a very phenomenal man in our contemporary lives. We clasp the hands of those that go before us,
and the hands of those who come after us.
We enter the little circle of each other's arms,
and the larger circle of others whose hands are joining in the dance,
and the larger circle of all creatures,
passing in and out of life, who move also in the dance,
to a music so subtle and vast that no ear hears it,
except in fragments.
Thank you. So Katie, as the president of our congregation, is going to lead the ceremonial part of welcoming the new members. And we invite you to please come forward. I think there's 8 of you. I'm going to count everyone. And would you like me to sit in this pew, or?
You all are going to stand right here. If you want to just stand in the line right here. Face that way? Oh, face the fellowship. Come on up. Thanks, everybody. It's really a profound joy to welcome all of these individuals to our spiritual community. We have some words. The members of the fellowship in your OOS order of service, you will find your part of this ceremony. And so I am going to ask each of our new members to briefly introduce themselves. Please start by telling us your name and just, a little minute or so about yourselves. If you want to start, Agnes?
Yay! My name's Agnes Roble. Me and my family moved here to Helena about 3 months ago, something like that, 4 months ago. And the reasons we moved here, there's a lot of little reasons, but basically just wanted a change and wanted a slightly different life than we had in Salt Lake. And I've loved a lot of things about Helena. Not sure about the train. I just got stopped by on the main train. Like, what is this? This is kind of silly. But other than that, I really loved a lot of things, and it feels like a really good fit for me. And same about coming here. I really appreciated a lot of the services I've attended here and learned a lot, and they made me think a lot about my life and myself, and I'm just really looking for community right now. Like that's like what I'm wanting and what I'm yearning for, so this has been lovely. I'm here with my husband today, but they're almost always here. And one more quick thing about me, I grew up in the Unitarian Church in Salt Lake, so I am a long-time Unitarian. It was really important to me as a teenager. I really connected with the youth group there. And then I took a long break, and I'm back. So that's my journey. So I am excited to get to know all of you more.
Hello, I'm Sarah Bond. I'm, like so many of us, a retired lawyer. I've been here 40-some years, so a while, and I'm a pagan and attended many Unitarian services in Colorado when my parents were alive. I grew up in Golden, and that's a total yuppie universe now, and I'm glad to be in Helena. I've been a horse person all my life and have recently adopted out my horses, because I'm aging out of that. But I found a great home for them in the Flathead, and I visited, and I have visitation rights, and they're fine. And it worked out really well. But so now I'm trying to downsize from my giant horse property, and I'm very appreciative of the streaming because I've always been feeding or shoveling poop or something and unable to try and get here by 11:30. So I've been streaming mostly for some time, and so having been here as long as I have, I recognize lots of you from various solstice ceremonies or marches at the Capitol and things of that nature. So anyway, thank you. The Unitarian experience is one I appreciate as a non-Christian, and it's open to all of us with any, whatever our faith journey. So I appreciate that. And somebody asked me what Unitarianism is if it's not a Christian or other quote-unquote religious faith. And I said, well, actually, if you read the 7 principles, it's kind of a lot like the UN Declaration of Human Rights with an ecology one thrown in. So it's pretty universal, I think. So anyway, thank you for welcoming me in, and that's it.
I'm Sarah Bewley, and I live in Great Falls, and I was going to say, now I know who you are because we connected on Zoom when we did that Zoom breakout session the last time. Yes, on the principles. And so I live in Great Falls, and I grew up Presbyterian all my life, but I realized over the last few years it just wasn't a good fit for me anymore. I just didn't believe that way anymore. And then I can't believe I'm saying thanks to the pandemic, you all were online, and I found you on your Zoom services and so on, and I thought, wow, that's where I belong, really. So then I've been able to come down and visit some of the time, and I met several of you in person besides seeing you online or on YouTube. So I really appreciate that a lot, and all your hospitality as well, as Sarah said. And so I hope to visit in person, more often as well. But if I'm not, then I'll be watching you on YouTube or something else as well. But I'd love to come to Helena too. Thank you.
I'm Cheryl Bouvier, and I'm not new. I've been coming for about 15 years, but well, I've never officially joined. So I'm not new, and you know me. But I'm glad to join. Every time the annual meeting comes around, I said, Cheryl, you really should do that. And my spiritual background is a Baptist mother and a Catholic dad, and I call myself a pagan, Unitarian, Buddhist, Catholic, because they all fit for me.
I'm Mike Stevenson, and I retired after 47 years as an architect, and we moved here about 18 months ago to be near to family, and I spend some of my spare time volunteering for Habitat, doing both manual labor, and I'm doing drawing for them, making use of my skills. And I would say that I grew up as Catholic. We raised our kids in the Catholic Church, and then after they left, we kind of just got out of the whole church thing until now. So.
And obviously, I'm Mike's wife, Karen. We moved here 18 months ago from eastern Montana, where we had raised our kids on a remote ranch. I'm taught school in one-room schools in 3 different locations. And as much as I dearly love the landscape of eastern Montana and that openness and that black, black sky, and I miss it very much, I'm filled with gratitude. But we're happy to be here among more family, and I'm looking in this Unitarian community to provide the spaciousness to continue my search and my quest for spirituality, wisdom, and community. Thank you.
Thanks. My name is Jackie Mon, and I grew up in Billings, Montana, spent my adult life mainly in Washington State. And then in 2016, I sort of threw a dart and I landed in Helena. I have a son in Bozeman. So I moved in 2019, and then COVID hit, and I was sort of searching for my grounding now that I was here. And I went to I sort of looked up online and found the UU and went to a service at the fairgrounds. And Pat invited me for a walk, and Carolyn invited me, and Pat invited me to coffee. And that sort of launched my journey and the sense of feeling welcoming and part of a community. So I'm filled actually with gratitude. Thank you.
Well, I think I speak for all the members of the fellowship that our hearts are very full. It's a moving time to have you join us, and we're grateful. I am going to ask the new members to repeat after me. Actually, your first thing is to just say yes to my question. Will you walk together with us, sharing the joys and responsibilities of membership? Excellent. In that case, please repeat after me. After much thought and meditation, this path is the one I have freely chosen. Great. In joining this fellowship, you're going to repeat this one too, try to remember it now. It's a little longer. In joining this fellowship, I join with all others who covenant to affirm and promote the 7 principles of Unitarian Universalism. I'll say it with you. In joining this fellowship, I join with all others who covenant to affirm and promote the 7 principles of Unitarian Universalism and whatever the future manifestation of our covenant is. You don't have to say that. This is a shorter one. To this community, I offer my support, my friendship, and my love.
To this community, I offer my support, my friendship, and my love.
Thank you. And now it's your turn. In your order of service, I would like to have you stand as you are, if you're willing and able, and we're going to make a commitment to our new members. Please read with me. In the bonds of fellowship and love, we unite with you to cultivate reverence, to promote spiritual growth and ethical commitment, to minister to each other's needs and to those of humanity, to celebrate the sacred moments of life's passage, to honor the holiness with all our hearts. You are part of us, and we are part of you. We welcome you with all our hearts. And now the fellowship may be seated. as a trustee of the fellowship, I now welcome you with this gift from our fellowship. So please come forward and get your little book, which is wonderful reading, the Pocket Guide to Unitarian Universalism, and a rose. And be sure that after the service, you connect with me and we'll have you sign our membership book. And you may sit down after you get your book and your rose.
Savor these moments. Judy or Mackenzie. Mackenzie will lead us. Come and sing a song with me. Please rise and sing. That would be Singing the Living Tradition, 346.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll sing a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Thank you. It's time for our offering. Here comes our offering gatherers. Is Sam going to do it with or Mara? now it's this time for Story for All Ages. I invite children and young at heart who want to come forward and join with me in seeing this book about Frederick, a field mouse. Okay. Pardon? We can hear you. Good. So, is anybody here familiar with the story of Frederick? He's kind of famous in certain circles, particularly in the field mouse circle. So here he is, little Mr. Frederick holding a flower. All along the roadway where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their homes. But the farmers had moved away. The barn was abandoned and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked day and night, all except Frederick. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. And when they saw Frederick sitting there, staring at the meadow, they said, and now, Frederick? I gather colors, answered Frederick simply, for winter is gray. And once Frederick seemed half asleep. Are you dreaming, Frederick? They asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, oh no, I am gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of words and things to say. The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. They then remembered what Frederick had said about sun rays and colors and words. What about your supplies, Frederick? They asked. Close your eyes, said Frederick, as he climbed on a big stone. Now I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how their golden glow? Do you feel how their golden glow? And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? And how about the colors, Frederick? They asked anxiously. Close your eyes again, Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles, the red poppies in the yellow wheat, and the green leaves of the berry bush. They saw the colors as clearly as if they'd been painted in their minds. And the words, Frederick? Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, "Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the four-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky, 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers, then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat, and winter is last with little cold feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more." When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. "But Frederick," they said, "you are a poet." Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, "I know it." We have a song, "Spirit of Life." Please rise and sing. It's in your singing the living tradition, number 1, 2, 3.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
So I'm remembering the first few years I came to this church. I think I joined UU about 8 years ago. And simple things like this song, "Spirit of Life," I would just start crying. I just found this service so moving, and my heart was open, and I was ready to be in a community of loving, like-minded individuals. And recently, I came across an essay written by Christine Robinson, who is formerly had she retired from her service in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where she was the pastor, I think for 20 years or so. Is Diane here this morning? Yeah. You were there.
Almost 30 years. Christine said almost 30 years.
Yeah. So she's written some phenomenal material, including 3 books that help direct us to do small what does she call them? Covenant groups?
Small group ministry.
Yeah, and Katie has been using some of those ideas for the small group ministry she's led. Anyway, she wrote this essay called "Belief in Belonging." And I know I've made copies of this and spread it around, but I thought today of all days was a perfect day to go through it. So I'm not going to read it word for word, but I'm going to bring out the major ideas that she puts forward. So a person who's thinking about exploring a new religious group wants to know, what do I have to believe to belong there? Well, of course, we're familiar with a lot of different mainline churches that have a creed or dogma that you're expected to believe in to be a member of that church. And one of the interesting things about the Unitarians is they don't have a creed. And instead, what we do is we say covenants to each other about how we support ourselves on our journey and how we have a search for truth and meaning. And the 7 principles are our guidelines. They're our version of the 10 commandments. So the Unitarians locate ultimate religious authority in the individual's own experience and understandings, and think that human beings can enrich each other's spiritual lives with our different beliefs. We speak a variety of religious and spiritual languages. What do I have to believe to belong here? It's what you already believe in your heart and soul. And also, your beliefs may change as you learn from experience and from the community. And those beliefs will belong amongst us as well. For some people, a lack of strongly stated shared beliefs feels rootless. But the Unitarians' deep roots are in a way of being religious rather than in a set of beliefs. We covenant with each other to support each other in a free and responsible quest for meaning that never ends. And we bring our religious values to life in the world around us. Our way is open, inclusive, full of wonder, growth, and community. All are welcome. Those who find themselves with beliefs that don't fit orthodox creeds are particularly likely to find relief, freedom, and good company for the religious journey in a creedless community such as ours. Instead of gathering around a set of beliefs we share, we gather to do some of the same things together. We support each other as our beliefs morph, deepen, and change through our lives. Our faith is not a set of statements, it is a journey. We value conversation and strive to cultivate curiosity about one another's spiritual journeys and understandings. We worship together to get in touch with our highest values, powers, and potential. We find ways to work together to make our world a better place. For most of us, action is an important part of our spirituality. We value spiritual growth and respect new learnings. This community will always be available to each of us as a spiritual home, regardless of how our beliefs may change. When you join a Unitarian congregation, you are asked only to affirm that you want to do what the congregation is doing, not to pledge, but to believe what the congregation believes. We honor doubts and questions and encourage you to express them. What we share together is roots, stability, and shared values. All religious and spiritual traditions are sources of wisdom. We celebrate the traditions that people bring with them into our communities from their own histories. Most of us believe in the inherent worth and dignity of our fellow human beings. We exist within a web of life and community. We care about our natural and human environments. We believe that truth unfolds over time. We look to the future for truth as well as the past. Our nearly infinite universe is complex beyond our understanding. Therefore, multiple and differing perspectives are not necessarily in conflict. Most of us believe that knowledge is better than ignorance, and many think of ourselves as lifelong learners. Most of us believe that democratic governance honors the inherent worth and dignity of each person and promotes justice and equity. Many of us are politically active. Unitarian Universalist is a faith with a big umbrella. We include free thinkers, doubters, religiously mixed families, new practices, and the alternatively faithful. We include atheists and agnostics, pagans and nationalists, as well as believer in God by many definitions, liberal Christians and followers of the teachings of the Buddha. We aim to be spiritual and religious, but never dogmatic. We aim to be a place for you. So with those words, we welcome all of you of different ideas and faiths and know that you are valued and respected here. Let's take a moment for silent meditation and then we'll share reflections. Has anyone got something to say? It was definitive, I guess. Becky? No.
Thank you. So when I first came to this this group, there were times when it seemed like people were speaking in a code I didn't quite get. And it just comes from living in different places and different times. And so be patient with yourself, because this community is worth it.
I just finished subbing for another organist for another church this morning. And it's a church full of gray heads. And they're in a private little conversation that they had before. We're talking about the need for new members, and what we need to do is become more progressive, was the general gist of that sense. But in the same breath, they acknowledged that for them that was really hard to do, because they really clung very closely to the old liturgy and the creed. just dawned on me just now, listening to you speak, Cass, and thank you very much. The Unitarians just might be the church of the future humanity, because we embrace all possibilities for how to solve problems. And we are open to all the ways that we can possibly be led to move forward and up.
I just want to say I can't wait to get to know all of you. And as we went through this service, I was recalling when I first joined UU and how certain things meant so much to me and still do. I remember when I first heard, "Remember us, and if you ever doubt yourself, remember us who know you well. We know all the gifts you bring." That meant so much to me. And the song, Spirit of Life, to finally be able to sing a song in church that I could really feel spiritually true about. And watching the children come past us and seeing them grow up through the years has meant so much to me. And I hope that all of you find the same kind of reward and comfort and joy in our services and in getting to know us.
Anyone else? That's Katie.
Well, Cass, I've read that essay that because you've been sharing it, but it meant a lot more in this context, and I really appreciated the parts that you selected for us to really convey the essence of what we're doing here. And most of us are part of many different groups. I really like my colleagues at work. I like my students. I like the other birders in the Audubon Society and the people in the Native Plant Society. But it is not the same as a group that really comes together about what we value and what's in our hearts and what we think we're doing here on this planet. So I think we're extremely fortunate to have this community, and then kind of what makes it really sweet is that you all make really wonderful friends, and I've gotten to know so many people to different degrees, and I look forward to becoming friends with more of you, as we walk together on this path. So thank you.
Thank you, Katie. This is nearly the end of Katie's term as our president. And I just want to acknowledge what a fine job she's done this year and how much we have relied on her for strength and direction. So here's a song written by Judy Fiel. It's on the insert in your program this morning. Will you join me on this journey?
Please rise.
Will you join me on this journey? It gives me strength to take your hand. The road is long.
Sometimes I'm weary.
Will you
Take my hand.
We'll send love
To the earth, through the soles of our feet, we'll send love to the souls of all the people we meet on this journey. On this journey, we'll help justice roll on down to the sea, providing the way so that all can be free on this journey. On this journey.
Will you join me on this journey?
I need to hear your voice.
So many times
I can't find the words.
will you
Sing with me, with your lovely voice.
Here we go. We'll send love.
We'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love on this journey. On this journey,
We'll help justice.
we'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love on this journey. On this journey,
Will you join me
on this journey,
It lightens my heart when I
see you smile.
Sometimes
I am discouraged.
Will you just look my way and smile? You probably don't need your papers. Look around. We'll send love.
We'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love on this journey. On this journey,
We'll help justice.
we'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love,
Providing
we'll send
ways
love on this journey. On this journey,
Will you join me on this journey? I need you there beside me. Sometimes I can't find the words.
there are times when I will lose my way.
Oh, but you, my
Friend, you will guide me.
will send love.
We'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love on this journey. On this journey,
We'll help justice.
we'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love, we'll send love on this journey.
Thanks for clapping on the offbeat. I really appreciate it. We'll send love. We'll send love on this journey. On this journey. We'll send love. Oh, we'll send love on this journey. On this journey. Sing either part now. Here we go. We'll send is a roll on down to the sea, provide the waves so that all can be free on this journey. On this journey.
Gemma? We'll extinguish the chalice now. You'll see the reading in the program. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. So this is the end of our broadcast on YouTube, and we'll swing into the last part of our private service. So starting with our joys and concerns, if you have anything you'd like to express, prayers you'd like to ask for,